Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. One quick second, I'm just going to get this other camera sorted. Every time I seem to have a problem with this camera, but it won't be a quick second, I'll have it sorted. There we go, almost there. Hi Sarah Brown, thank you for joining me. It's so lovely to see you, my sweetie. And hello Emma, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. I will get this camera sorted. Come along. I'm so sorry about this, guys. We should have it now. There we go. Hello! You get to see me. Isn't that fabulous? There we go. Hi, Corinne! I'm so glad you're here, my darling sister. Yay! Right, so tonight I thought I would do something a little bit different. I haven't actually made a pre-card for this, so naughty of me, I know. But we're going to be playing with some of the stuff that's come from Brutus Monroe. Now, I've selected these few bits from the Wizard of Oz, kit. Oh wait, I haven't got that all lined up, have I? What's going on here? Naughty, naughty. I'll try not to make you all feel a bit seasick whilst I quickly sort that out. There we go. Ta-da! So we're going to use these few bits from the Wizard of Oz set from Brutus Monroe. Now, I love Brutus Monroe's products. They're a little bit of a problem to get into the UK because they are quite expensive, but I have them and I'm happy to have them. So I'm just going to use these, like I say, these few bits from the Wizard of Oz set. I've got myself a card blank. I'm just going to go with a normal card blank today, a nice 6x6, and I'm just going to make a card. Hi Katie, thank you for coming along, my darling. It's lovely to see you. Right, so what I'm going to do to start, so I'm going to get out a piece of stamping card. That is not stamping card. That, I keep forgetting I put extra stuff away in my drawer, you see. That is stamping card. And I'm going to trim it down to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Just to start us off. So 5 3/4. Actually, I don't want to use that edge. That edge does not look very nice. 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And I should just move that out of the way. And we're going to do some ink blending on this. Now, I haven't decided which road I'm going to go down, but it's going to have to be the yellow brick road, isn't it? Did you miss where I got the stamp set? These stamps are from Brutus Monroe. They are, he does have a website. He does ship to the UK if you want it. It's a little bit on the slightly more expensive side, but I had to have it because, you know, it's the Wizard of Oz and, you know, you just have to, don't you? So you must, as I would say. So, right, what we're going to do with this first is going to line that up on there. I think we're going to go with the technique that I did yesterday, guys. I think this is going to be very fun. Right, I'm going to start off, actually, with Wild Honey. Or am I? Yes, I'm going to start off with Wild Honey. And I'm going to use some of my glycerin just to... So I'm just putting down a nice little blob of glycerin. Picking up some of that, dropping it down on there. And then I'm just going to mix that with the glycerin, and we should get a nice, lovely smooth blend. Look how far that's gone. That's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing to me how far glycerin makes the inks makes the ink go. It is absolutely stunning how far this goes. And there we go, guys. That is the base background of our card. Now I'm just going to put that off to the side, put that back underneath there. I'll grab a clean cloth. Oh, a new one. Just clean up that little bit off of there. I'm going to head into my scrap packs. Hello, Christine Mahoney. I love BM. I missed this set. Going to take a take Gander away. I promise you it's definitely worth the gander, my darling. Right. And I've got a lovely scrap of this Centura Pearl Gold. And I'm going to cut my Yellow Brick Road die stamp. I'm going to cut my Yellow Brick Road die out of that. Sarah, is currently 7:30 PM in the evening for me, as it's 6:30 in the morning for you. I'm just going to get my machine all set up. So this may not be as long as my usual lives this evening, but that's because I'm just going to make a card. I just fancied making a card and I wanted to make it with this particular set, so it's what we're going to do. Right, here we go. And what I normally like to do is my clear shim, magnetic plate and top cutting plate, and we run it straight through the G2. And there we go. Right, where's my pokey tool gotten off to? I saw it earlier on. That's okay. Oh, there it is. It's hiding over there. See, this is what happens when you don't keep an eye on your pokey tool. It just gets up and wanders off. Right, here we go. Oh, wow. Look at that. Doesn't that look so pretty? And then when you put it up against there, it looks even better. How amazing. And then of course you've got all these little bricks as well. Now you could use that to actually paper piece if you wanted to. You could cut it out in a different colour, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pop all of these out because I'm going to keep them for another project where maybe I want to make a brick wall on a card or something like that. It's very handy to have some nice little rectangle scraps, and they're also very therapeutic to push out of the die. Very therapeutic. There we go. And it actually does do quite a lot of them as well. A lot. Right, I'm just going to pop that over there, because we will probably need our die cutting machine again shortly. And what I'm going to do is just get my tape runner. Not my tape runner actually, I want my dotty glue runner. My dotty glues. And I'm just going to run my dotty glue along it. And that's the best thing to use, guys, if you're going to be doing intricate die cuts like this. There we go, I'll just line that up and pop that there. So now we have the base of our card. Now, don't worry about this side. It will get covered. How many products do you have, Gaz? Products from which company? From Brutus Monroe, Crafter's Companion. I do probably own a lot of Crafter's Companion stuff. I own a few sets of Brutus Monroe stuff. I also get stuff from the Papercraft Society in Craft Stash. I've got bits from... oh god, what's the other one? Oh, I forgot her. Sam Callett. I've got some of her stuff which is made to surprise. I've got loads of stuff. I've just recently cleaned my crafty area and it took me 2 days. If I were to pack up this room, I imagine it would probably take me the best part of 2 days. There is a lot of stuff in here. A heck of a lot of stuff in here. Right. I'm just going to grab a die quickly. My box. Which I'm hoping is going to be in hither. I thought I exhausted all my boxes, but apparently I did not. Where are you, you naughty little die? Only 2 days. Gaz has bits from all over. I do actually have bits from all over the world. It's quite insane how much stuff I have. Just trying to think where I put. I do apologise about this, guys. I was looking for a shape die that I thought I had out, but apparently I don't. I'm not sure which box I've put it in. This is what happens when you reorganise your craft storage. But it's not a problem. I shall have to make do with what I've got in here. So I am just going to be using one of my dies from the Layout Collection, and I'm going to use this edge die. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another piece of card, and I'm going to do some stamping and ink blending on that one as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give it this nice wibbly wobbly cut, and we're going to bring it over so that a part of this will actually be hidden, and it will give a really nice effect in the middle of the card. So let us get out the scrap of paper, well, scrap of cardstock I should say. And we do know me, I like to be A, as frugal as possible, and B, as messy with ink as possible. That one will do perfectly. So, I did have a little bit of an idea before I started this one anyway. So, I'm actually going to use Glinda the Good Witch on this one. So we're going to make a background on this card for her to sit on. So, oh, I need to make, I don't want those dice to come out, I only wanted the stamps. So come on out you cheeky little fellas. So we're going to use the magic wand, and we're going to use the sentiment as well, which is called You've Had the Power All Along. I'm just going to get my rocker block, and I'm going to set them up on a jaunty angle on my rocker block, like so. And once we've done the blending on the background, we'll stamp that on and emboss it with some heat embossing. He has a good collection. I have nothing in comparison to Christine Mahoney, I can promise you. Absolutely nothing in comparison. It is a little bit of a throw under the bus there, Christine. I am sorry, but it's very true. So, when I think of Glinda the Good Witch, I think of pink, I think of blue, I think of... what other colours do we think of when we think of Glinda the Good Witch? So I'm going to get pink, and I'm going to get a nice... I'm going to get my tempered glass. Ooh, what are we going to do with this one? Because I don't want to just put down a normal blend. I think I know what I'm going to do with this one. I think we're going to do some water spritzing on this one. So, yeah, I'm just going to do some ink smushing. I have decided. It has been decided. Put that there for now. So, just apply the ink directly onto the glass mat. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to pick up the pink. That's actually a very, very light pink and it's not strong enough. So, what I'm going to do is just blot that. And I think we're going to need to go in with picked raspberry because there's a bit more of a slightly more solid pink. Right. And I'm just going to go on just like I did in the first instance, and I'm just going to randomly, there we go, and we've got a nice random finish there. And what I'm going to do before I apply any more ink to that is dry that layer. Just check and make sure it's dry. That's just the beginning of the background. Gold, crafting on the fly. Well, I do like to craft on the fly. I was talking about my craft room, also I got confused. You replied after. Right. There we go. We're going to go in with some blue as well. And I was thinking of maybe even possibly running a little bit of gold, maybe, possibly some silver. But I want to make sure I'm picking up some of that blue because it doesn't seem to be picking it up very well. Naughty, naughty. Right, okay, we'll just wipe that bit away. And lay some more down. And try again. Ideally, I don't really want to have any white showing through, but that'll do. I like that. It kind of looks mystical. And we like mystical. So I'm just going to dry that layer. Actually, what I'm going to do is flip that around. I'm going to flip that around because I'm going to be die cutting down that side, so it will help with the effect and it will get rid of some of the offcut that I don't want to use. Let's catch up on the chat for a quick second. Oh, Christina, we'll do that when I finish watching Gaz. Okay, it seems everyone is doing YouTube channels. Yeah, everyone's doing YouTube channels, it seems, at the moment. I'm really, you know, I was live on Facebook for a while. I had on my Facebook group, Handcrafted by Gaz. But I kind of thought it would be much easier and for everyone to join in if I went live on YouTube. And my streaming software seems to have a much better time with dealing with it. So, right, here we go. So I'm just going to randomly stamp, even going off the edge, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to randomly stamp all over the cardstock because I want it to look as kind of random as possible. Now I'm only going to do a little bit of it because obviously I do want to heat emboss this. So I'm just going to get my sheet of scrap to go underneath. Grab my... Now I'm going to use my Enchanted Gold embossing powder on this because I think Glinda the Good Witch deserves to, you know, sparkle. Or at least have a sparkly background. Oh, come on, down you come. Silly embossing powder. Right, let's just get some of that extra on there away. I'm going for the next stamp. This is going to look really pretty when it's done. I'm just going to move that out of the way because I don't really want to stamp on that. And then, again, it doesn't really matter if I make this 100% pretty or not because it is going to get a little bit trimmed. So let's just do that. And I'll just do a few little off the edge stamps again as well, just so that it looks like it's been randomly stamped. There we go. I love this technique. It's a wonderful technique. It is one of my favourites. Right, let's get rid of that. And if you were here last night, you would have seen me teach all these techniques. Hello, Olga. Sneaking in whilst at work. Woohoo! Thank you for sneaking in. I'm so glad to see you. Well, that's very naughty. It seems as though the heat embossing powder hasn't actually adhered to the ink. Now, I believe that is because this embossing powder is quite old. However, it has managed to completely cover me. And the craft room. So that's one thing from it. But it's okay. It doesn't matter whether it's heat embossed it or not. I still like the background. It's still very pretty. And some bits of it have heat embossed, so it all adds to the effect. I think few people are on the way, Gaz. Oh, really? Wow! That would be great. I can't wait to see some more people join in. It would be fabulous. Let's get rid of some of this glitter off me. My gosh, there's so much glitter everywhere. Right. So, I'm going to need that to come in over here. And I will cut this down as well to level it up. Why? There's still powder on it, so why is it not? There we go. That will do. Sorry about that. Sadly, I can't stay. I have a lunch date with my... That's no problem, Laurie. Thank you so much for popping in. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. How does it feel to have over 60 followers? It feels amazing to have over 60 followers, actually. I was really A, shocked, and B, glad that I managed to make the 50 that I needed to be able to stream. So it's thanks to you guys that I'm even here. So thank you. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate what you guys have done for me, because you've given me the power to stream. You're all brilliant. Can't say I'm any prouder right now of my of this community. I'll catch up with you later, Laurie. You have a good day, my darling. Right. So, I'm just going to stick that down there. And I'm probably not going to use the magnetic shim on this because it's a very simple die. I feel the machine would put too much pressure on it. And there we go. Right, let's just pop that out of the way for the minute. And then we need to chop that down to 5 3/4. So let's chop that down to 5 3/4. And if I believe correctly, that should give us I did chop that down to 5 3/4, didn't I? I did. You know what? I'm going to take it down to 5 1/2. That's better. 5.5. And there we go. I'm just going to use my Collall to stick this down with. One of the best glues for card making I've ever had. Especially just for sticking mats and layers. And it gives you that extra wibbly wiggle time as well, as I like to call it. So let's just line that up with that die cut, making sure we leave a nice little edge. And there we go. We have a background, well, we have the background of our card already. How brilliant is that? I really like this one, guys. It's really nice, and it really doesn't give it the justice of the bricks. But you know what I'm thinking, don't you? You know what I'm thinking, don't you? You know what I'm thinking. Any excuse to get the old gilding wax out, innit? And I'm just very lightly going to go through the squares just so that it gives a little hint that there's gold in each square. Just a little hint. We don't want it to build up too much. I just want the shadow just a little bit, tapping it off. I just want to build up that shadow a little bit more at the top there. How cool does that look? Have I gone a little bit overboard with a bit there? I'm just going to wipe that a little bit up because we don't need that anymore. But you can see how far a little bit of gilding wax actually goes. I mean, I know the company that I've bought it from say that it goes so far, but it doesn't go as far as they say, but it certainly goes a lot further than what I thought it was going to. Visible Wizard. Visible Wizard. The Visible Image Wizard of Oz stamps and dies would work great on this. They would. They would work absolutely fantastic. But today we're actually going to use Glinda the Good Witch. So I'm just going to stamp those out onto there. And because I'm going to use alcohol markers... Am I going to use alcohol? Yeah, I'm going to use alcohol markers to colour these in. I'm going to use my alcohol-proof die. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to stamp these on my stamping platform because I don't want to... Thank you for that marvellous interlude. I don't want to ruin the images on these. I want them to be absolutely crisp and perfect. And for crisp and perfect, we always bring out the big boy wax. It really, I really do try to give a little bit of pizzazz to everything I make. So now I don't need to prime these stamps as they've been used before. I'm just hoping to get a really good crisp and clean image from them. There we go. Oh, that is a really nice clean and crisp image. Woohoo! That is what we wanted. Perfection first time, guys. Perfection first time. Doesn't happen all the time, but that time it did. Right, let's get that all nice and... we get those stamps out of the way because we don't need those at the moment. Now what I'm going to do is die cut before I colour, because colouring before you die cut is a bit of a dangerous game. You can, if you end up ruining your image, then you've wasted a lot of time colouring. If you like what you see, please press the thumbs up. Yes, please do. I would like you to press the thumbs up. In fact, if anyone likes what they see, you can feel free to leave me a message on Instagram. No, I'm just joking. Please do leave a message if you do. Oh my gosh, the cat's got my tongue tonight, guys. Cat has got my tongue. Can you believe such a thing? Right. Now we have the dies for these. So here's the die for my lovely little ruby slippers. Come on, out you pop. Come on, pop it. Let's just line that up. There we go. I think that bit of tape is overkill, but never mind. And where did I put the... Which? Here we go. Just make sure we line them up as best as we possibly can. There we go. And on this one I'm going to make sure I put a bit of tape on each side, because I don't want it flying off when I go in the when I put it in the die cutting machine. Thumbs up from Down Under. Oh, thank you. I would do an Australian accent, but I would absolutely brutalise it, and then, you know, you would never speak to me again. So it's best I stay away from that. So I'm just gonna use my clear plastic shim. I'm not gonna put the machine through any more pressure than I have to, because they are only simple dies. And here we go. There's our two lovely die cuts ready to go. Right, now for the ruby red slippers, I would like to use my... No, that's just electric. I'm just going to see how this red comes out. Oh, that's going to look beautiful. Right, ruby red slippers. Ooh. This is going to look stunning. I may go into a colouring coma, so I do apologise in advance for the colouring coma. But I couldn't resist. Going with this sparkly red, because it is absolutely stunning. Come on, you silly pen. Oh gosh, that got a lot of sparkle out of that, didn't it? Wow. Okay, well, we'll just go over that. And we'll go over that. Just go along the bottom And there we go. Just say, good day, mate. How's it going? There you go, I did it. Good day. Right, let's go with... I'm going to go with my dark red blend, and I'm going to use... because I don't want it to look sparkly on the inside, you see. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight the bottom with a slightly darker red. And there we go. I'm thinking that's actually looking really, really nice. And I'm just going to do the same on the bow. Except I'm going to go in with the darkest red. And then blend it slightly out to the... Here we go. Very almost there with this one. Oh, I very almost forgot to do my darkest highlights there, and blend it out with the not so dark. And there we go. That is one lovely pair of ruby red slippers. You guys can see there, they're nice and sparkly. And just to give it that even more sparkly sparkles, I'm going to go around the outer edge with just making sure I'm not going too far. And there we have it. A nice lovely pair of sparkly red slippers. Right, now to move on to our lovely glaring Glinda the Good Witch. Now, she normally has a blue dress, doesn't she? So we're going to give her a blue dress. I'm feeling like she deserves a blue dress. So I'm just going to go over the whole of the blue dress with the lightest colour blue. And I'm just freely at this stage just going over the entire stamp because I want to make sure that that blue is everywhere. Now, what I'm going to do is then do the little highlights with the darkest blue around the little levels of her dress. And you'll see when it all comes together why I'm doing it like this. Now this isn't necessarily the way that you would have been taught how to use these pens, but it's the way that I figured out works the best for me when I try to do my blending. And you can see how it's just taking the harshness out of those lines and making it look really, really nice. And I'm just layering it up, and I'm leaving some preserved highlights just where I'm not layering up the second area of the pen there. You can see where it's just becoming slightly lighter. So you could do it. Well done, mate. Thank you. Love this stamp set. It is a really, really lovely stamp set. There is so much more to the entire set than obviously just these ones. It's an entire collection, but these are just the ones that I picked out because I just like the look of them. So I'm just going to give this the entire light going over with the second pen, and then just where those two lines, where the second pen and the middle blend and the darker blend meet, I'm just going over in circles to pull out the blend and make it look like a smoother transition between the two. Now this is a very, very simple blend on that. I could have done a lot more and gotten a bit more out of it, but I think for what I've done, I think it's actually looking really good. And once again, I'm just going to go in on the powder puff on it. Well, I call it a powder puff anyway. And I'm just going to do a little bit of darker highlight. And I'm just going to blend that out. Have that a little bit down her arm. Now it's actually a bit difficult to find the powder puff on her other arm because of how intricate the stamp is, but I believe I have found it. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a dark highlight around the edge, and then I'm just going to blend it out with the blue, with the middle blue. go. I'm going to get the gold yellow blend, and we shall do her staff. There we go. And then I'm just going to do a really dark blend on the gold at the very centre of her star there. Is that the right way? And then I'll blend it out with the mid-tone. There we go. And I'm going to do a skin, so I'm going in with the lightest colour of the skin tone there. And then just with the darkest tone, I'm just going to put down some highlights. Put in some highlights on her face. And blend them out with the mid-tone. And just because I believe that every good witch should have a cherry lip, I'm going to just go back in with the lightest red, the red blend. Right, now to do her hair. So, I know she has blonde, doesn't she? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the first two with the gold. Because I don't want it to interfere too much with the staff there. So I'm just going to lay down a little bit. And there we go. And as for her crown, wow, again I believe she deserves sparkle for her crown. So I'm going to use my blue sparkle pen, and there we go. We have a very lovely Glinda the Good Witch. And now, just because I want her to have that I'm ethereal, I'm beautiful, sparkly outline with some, oh, 1 second, I do apologise guys, stupid thing, I can't see the, there we go. I'm going to use some my Starlit Sky, just to go around the edges of her. And it will give her that ethereal, sparkly lady descending from the sky type. And this is the best thing about these ink pads as well, is that they have the teardrop design, so I can actually get right into the nooks and crannies without too much fuss and hassle, and I get the strong effect that I wanted. Hi Julie, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bit flabbergasted there. I didn't know what to say. Oh my golly gosh. Thank you so much. So right, I'm just going to put... I'm just going to pop these down just so that I can... Oh wow, that's just taken me back a bit. I'm so sorry. Oh. Oh my. Thank you. I'm just going to get my rocker block here. And I'm just going to put my Follow Your Yellow Brick Road stamp down on that. I'm thinking we could probably actually use a little bit of this offcut card. I'm just going to chop a square off of it. To do our sentiment with. Just going to snip. I'll snip that down a little bit better once I've got this stamp on it. Right, so I'm going to use that lovely. Oh, I've got a lovely yellow gold one here as well, I think, somewhere. Now we know who the favourite is. No, you don't know who the favourite is because I say there's no favourite. I'm going to use the Golden Honey. Now, because this is a pigment ink, you can also heat emboss this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in with my clear heat embossing powder on this one because it's got all the sparkle and it's got all the colour in it that I want. Well, let's just pop that back away in there. Let's pop that there. Now, where are my reverse tweezers? The one time I need them. They're not at the front of my tool pot. There we go. Put those back there. So, to avoid burning the heck out of yourself with a heat embossing gun, trying to emboss onto a tiny piece of card. There we go. Let's put that back away. And then what I'm going to do is, because how we started off the background was with the wild honey using some vegetable glycerin. So I'm just going to put down a tiny little blob of vegetable glycerin. Get my wild honey out. This is going to go for miles. But don't worry, what I'm going to do with that as well, once I've done that, I'm just going to wipe that off. And I'm going to give it a spritzy spray. With my spray, and it should give it a nice slightly diminished effect. I really like that. That looks really good. Right. And because this is an absolute nightmare to get off otherwise, you can see how well that's stuck on there. I'm just going to clean this off straight away because I don't want to ruin my stamp, because the mica will hold. So when you do clean off your stamps, it's better you do use a little bit of tissue when you've got the mica ink on there, because otherwise it's an absolute nightmare to try and get rid of. Right. Now I do have a matching stamp, a matching die for this. It's just figuring out which one it is. So I will not be a second whilst I figure out. There we go. Follow your yellow brick road. And I don't think there's any better sentiment that you could put on a card like this, to be honest. So, what did I do with my little rolly tape thing? Ah, there it is. Here we go. Stick that down. And stick that down. Just so you know, guys, this is crafting on the fly, so this is what happens when I just literally sit in here and I just think, you know what, I'm going to make this and I'm going to do this. Do not even get me started on the aqua pigments. My God, those things are everything. I have some of them and they are just amazing. They are absolutely amazing. The things you can do with them, wow, it would make me blush. And it takes a lot to get me to blush, just so you know. Right, so what I'm going to do is, just because I want this to tie in with the little panel that we put on this side where Glinda the Good Witch is, I'm just going to stick that on there, and then I'm just going to give it a little snip round. What am I going to stick it with? I'm going to use my tacky glue for this one. There we go, stick that down. And then all I'm going to do is bring in my skizzers. I'm just going to level that up. There we go. And I'm going to give this some dimension with some sticky pads. So just to lift those, I'm going to put those up there, just like that. We're going to put Glinda over here. So I'm just going to put some on the back of the sentiment just there. But we're not done with that sentiment just yet. I'm going to add a few more little bits to this card just to finish it off. So why won't that one just peel? Come on, you naughty little... There we go. Follow your yellow brick road. I really am quite chuffed with the colouring on this stamp. I really, really am. So I'm just going to pop her there. There we go, there's Glinda. With the Follow Your Yellow Brick Road. And just to give it a bit more colour, I'm going to come in and I'm just going to colour in the bits of stars that are visible. Which will help tie it into the rest of the card. And I'm just gonna do the little sticks of the wands as well. Just to give it that little whoosh. And then, where did I put my... Then all we need is our card blank. It does help if you have the lid open, Gareth. I'm just leaving the white card blank white because I really like the way it plays with it. And there we go, guys. We have a lovely Glinda the Good Witch with the ruby slippers. And I've just thought of something else I can put on there as well because I really want to fill that middle gap. And I think it will fill it really well. We're going to put the tornado that took the house on it. Just because we can. Right, so for this I'm going to use, provided I can find it, I should have a lovely piece of here, that's going to look great. You might think I'm going a little bit overboard in doing this, but I think it's going to look great because I'm a child. Right, let's go. Right, here we go. My god, gosh. This is just going to look so cool. That's not too much, is it, guys? Right, okay. Thinking I can use my nails is apparently a really wrong assumption for me, so I'm just gonna and there we go, guys. One lovely Wizard of Oz card, and I really do think that the holographic mirror on that tornado looks really, really good. It's not as much as it's all fabulous, it's fabulous. Oh, thank you. I really do appreciate that. There we go. So that is a lovely Glinda the Good Witch card with the ruby red slippers and a nice little sentiment. So I don't know if there's anything else you guys would like to see from me this evening, or if you want me to do a little overview of the entire set from the Brutus Monroe Wizard of Oz. I can do that for you. I will need just a moment to pop these stamps and dies away so I can show you everything in its entirety. But I'm quite happy to just talk you guys through it and show you what the entire set consists of. So if you do want to go ahead and buy it, you are armed with as much information as I had when I got it. Which was quite a lot, actually. I really did enjoy this make, I can't lie. It's a very good one. There are a few things I would probably tweak or do slightly differently, but then that's always the case. Every time you make a card, you know, I find that the second or third time I make it, I've improved upon it and I've made this bit different or that bit different, and then it all kind of comes together in a bit more of a cohesive manner. So here we have, there's No Place Like Home stamp and die set. Now for every single stamp you have on this sheet, you have a coordinating die. So every single stamp on there has its own coordinating die, which I think is absolutely fabulous. We have what I did use, which is the Yellow Brick Road plate die. Now this makes an American A2 sized card, or near enough an A6 card if you are in England. Then we have the Which is Which set. And again with this you get both the stamps and the dies for this. And you get both Glinda and Elphaba, and you get the Witching You All the Best sentiment and The Magic Is In You. Which I think is a lovely set. Just quickly pop that die away in there. Then you have this little bit, which is the Oz and Ends set. So you've got a full set of the dies that make up the ruby red slippers, including the little bows that go on the front. You've got Glinda's magical staff. You've got the tornado. You've got a sentiment die there that you could actually hot foil. That says There's No Place Like Home. Glinda's crown, and then all of these little bits that you see just floating around make up a monkey, which is a really nice one. And I shall just pull out the last few bits of the collection. So we also have the big stamp of the ruby red slippers. Which says, which has the sentiment "Sparkle on and you're stronger than you think." We've got a little Toto stamp, and that says "Hello friend." He comes with a coordinating die for him, and also the sentiment. So every stamp in a Brutus Monroe set near enough has a coordinating die, which I think is absolutely fabulous, to be honest. There's not many companies that will do that. And I believe we also have the dies that make up a poppy. So you can use your flower forming foam with that. You could just use your paper, whatever you like. You can make up yourself some poppies to stick on your card. And then we have the final part, which is the big stamp scene, which is of them going off to the Emerald City. So following the Yellow Brick Road, you've got an Emerald City stamp there. You've got the little stamps of each of them individually that you can use to build the scene. You've got the sentiment stamp that says, "It's not where you go, it's who you meet along the way." And also, "You'll always have a friend in me." So that is the entire collection. Ooh, I'll just clear away some space, and I'll show it you all together laid out. It is a fairly big collection, I'm not going to lie. I shall tell no fibbies. It is a fairly large collection. Right, I just need to pop that back in there because that's where that came from. So we have that. We have that, those, and that. That is everything. So that is everything that you get in the collection. And you don't just have to use this to make cards. You can use this to make boxes. You can use it to... You could just stamp some nice things out. I mean, I was thinking about using some of these characters on a card and doing, you know, like the Brave Lion with the medal and "I admire your courage." You know, there are so many different ways that you can put these together and you can make some really great cards. So there we have that. That is the entire collection. We have the card that I've made this evening, which is the lovely Glinda the Good Witch, with that rather piercing tornado in the middle there, I think. I should have really tried to have made that fit in a little bit better, but I just like the fact it's so stark and sticks out like a sore thumb, with the ruby red slippers, and we did a little bit of gold gilding on the back there as well through the Yellow Brick Road. So my lovely friends, seeing that we've completed our project for the evening, and I've shown off the collection, I think quite lovely, I'm going to call the stream here. If you do have any questions, do not hesitate to come and find me on Facebook, on the Facebook group at Handcrafted by Gaz. Oh, the play Wicked is coming back to Melbourne. I loved it when I first saw it. It's the first time I saw Wicked, I cried. So I can't really say anything. It is an absolute amazing performance. Well, amazing show, performed very well by the actors that do it. I absolutely adored every single moment of it. So I can't say it's not good because it's everything. So we've done all of that. I've shown you all of the bits and bobs. If you like what you've seen, don't forget to give it a lovely little thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. It helps build everything up. And the bigger I become, the bigger the community gets. And to be honest, the more fun we'll all have together. Which I really would like to see the community kind of come together and thrive and be a really fun place. I do also have the ability to have a guest on stream as well. So at some point I was thinking of doing a live craft along with someone joining me, which I think is another fun idea. Katie, pop over and Gaz will show you. Okay. That is another fun idea that I've got in the pipeline. So if you come and find me on Facebook under Handcrafted by Gaz, I am there. You can write anything. You can write to me. You can also find me on Instagram under Handcrafted by Gaz if you have any questions. Anything that I can help anybody with, I'm more than happy. Christine Mahoney, you can be my very first craft along buddy if you like. Unfortunately, I do not offer a £50/$dollar voucher because I'm not at that point yet. But I think if I can get this going and we can build this up, it will probably get to a point where I can offer something for someone to come and do a craft along with me. So fingers crossed, let's get the community going. And I'm really pumped up to, really make something of this, guy. So I'm just so grateful to have you along for the journey. And I've been saying goodbye for nearly 10 minutes. So I'm actually going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you again very soon.